Today we're going to make an underwater scene using oil pastels and liquid watercolor. And the oil pastels are going to act as a resist with the watercolor. And at the end, we're going to turn them later. They will come back to you as a sticker. So this big sheet is going to get shrunk down to these little stickers. So that's why we need to make sure we draw big. And to do this, you're going to get your sheet of paper, and it's going to have a spot here on the top for your name, which will be filled out for you. So just make sure that that's correct. And then we're going to draw our fish. And we're going to start by using some just basic shapes. And we want to keep our main things away from the edge. And remember, we want to draw big. So I'm going to draw my basic fish here, and I'm going to start by just drawing a bit of an oval shape. Then I'm going to draw the fish's mouth. And then I'm going to draw a fish's tail. And some fins. And I'm going to draw a little eye here. And I'm going to add some stripes to my fish. I'm making my stripes pretty wide so that I can easily color them later. I'm also going to add at the bottom, I'm going to add a bit of ground for my ocean floor. And I'm also going to draw a little bit of seaweed. Now I want to think about some of my elements of art about space, and I want to make my fish be in front of the seaweed. So as I draw my seaweed, my plants in the back, I'm going to draw, and I'm going to stop when I get to the edge of the fish. And then I'm going to come up here and finish my seaweed up here. And then I'm going to draw some more. And as I'm going to tuck that one behind. So I'm going to kind of stop and make sure that they're overlapping, giving it dimension of space, that they're behind there. And maybe draw a little bit of coral here. I'm going to sign my work. Now I want to make sure that I keep my signature away from the edge, so we have these templates. And I'm going to look for a spot where I can put my name. So if I want it, I can put it here, or if I want it on the other side, I can flip it over, and I'm going to line this piece of paper up with my one. And I've got a pretty big space here, so I'm going to write my name in here. And I can even write the year if I would like to, so I can remember when I made this piece of art. Now I'm going to start adding color, and we're going to do that with our oil pastels. So I'm going to start drawing my fish, coloring my fish with some warm colors, because later we'll be adding our watercolor, which will be the cool colors of the ocean. So as I use my oil pastel, I kind of want to get a pretty good coverage on here, and being careful to kind of stay within the lines I've drawn for myself of the fish. Now I'm going to give my fish some just different colors of stripes. So I'm just going to color each one of these sections in some different colors, putting a pretty good coverage of my oil pastels. And as I get some of these bits of crumbs, I want to make sure I don't rub those, because then they could spread to places on my drawing where I might not want them. Now here I'm going to add a little bit of some lighter colors, just to add some variation to my greens. Now I want there to be some kind of varying colors in my coral. So I'm going to kind of add some varying colors that go together. They're both kind of the warm colors, and we'll get a little bit of blending in the next step. And then I'm also going to color my sea floor. And now I'm going to take a lighter shade of that color. So I've got the dark brown. Now I'm going to use a little bit of this lighter brown, and I'm going to add that in. And then I'm also going to take, which you won't be able to see this quite yet, but I'm going to add maybe some bubbles for my fish. So I'm going to just draw some little circles with this white, which you really can't see now, but we'll see at the next step. So now what we're going to do, now that we've got our color down, we're going to do some blending. And to do that, we're going to use this little bit of baby oil in this container. There's a little sponge in there, and then you're going to use just some Q-tips. Now you're going to just get a little bit of oil, just kind of touch it to the sponge, and then you're going to take this and you're going to smooth out your oil pastels. So it's just going to kind of blend them together and give you a nice smooth color. And when it doesn't want to move very well is when you kind of just need to get a little bit more oil. So any places that you might not have got color before, it will blend through. Now that I've gotten green here, I want to move to my reds and my yellows. So I'm just going to turn it over, and I'm going to start to blend, and I want to work from the top down so I don't get my hand dirty. And I'm just going to kind of come in here. You can see where I added that little bit of color. Those are going to kind of blend together. And like I said, when it doesn't want to move very well is when you should just get some more. So just slowly work and blend out your color, and you can see how it smooths out any of those rough places or areas where you might not have gotten color. And you can see that when we're near these edges, that those will bring a little bit of that color into your yellows. And then now down here in my coral, I'm going to blend these together, and you can see how I'm getting a little bit of the different colors. The red and the yellows are blending together to give me an orangey color, and plus there's still some of that texture. I'm going to get another one, and I'm going to come in here and blend my sea floor. Okay, and we can always come back in, and if you decide you want a little bit more texture here, you could add some little bits of some dots and different things to kind of add some texture to yours, or if you feel like you need some more color. And once you've got all of your oil pastels done and blended, and then we're ready to add our water, our ocean. So now I'm going to take just a little dip into my paint because it doesn't need very much, and now I can paint in my water. If we need to clean our brush, you can put it in the water and kind of scrub along the bottom, and then take it on your wet sponge and make an X. So by going one direction and then flipping your brush over and going the other direction, and then just paint in all of your ocean. Being careful not to use too much water because you don't want to leave any big puddles that could then leave holes in your paper. Now when it comes to where your name is, you can go ahead and paint over it, but you want to make sure that it's not too dark. So if it gets to be a little bit dark, the best thing is just to take a little bit of water and you can lighten that up. And see where we added that white. Now those areas are going to stay white and they're going to add the look of those bubbles. And we're all done. Make sure we clean off our brush again.